Hey, what's going on, guys? Yes, it's another week. It's another week of goodness. Thank you so much for coming out. Let me plug this ear thing in real quick. Hey, what's up, Lolly? Appreciate you always showing up. Thank you so much. I'm going to put my earpiece in. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for popping in. Of course, quickly let us know where you're chiming in from, where you're chiming in from. Let us know where you're coming in from. Oh, we have the doctor in the house. That's right. You'll be hearing from her tonight. That is right. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the GunterMan show. We only know what we know. We only know what we know. You know, it's amazing. I could tell you this journey is truly a godsend. It really feels humbling to be able to share all this stuff that's in my head, you know, to open the doors for other people to share what's inside their head. You know, we only know what we know, and what we know isn't everything there is to know. So here is a platform for you to increase what you know about love, about relationships, about how to live life, how to be the best version of yourself, how to serve others, how to be kind when going through a rough time. You know, these things make life what it is for us. Like if you ever sit back and you really wonder how life is going for you, it's relationships. It's the relationships in your life. It's you having the heart and the passion inside you to step outside your comfort zone, to seek other answers, to seek new ways, to no longer settle for situations being just what they are in your life. You know, you have the opportunity to live greatness in every aspect of your life. You can fight for that type of understanding. You can fight and endeavor to explore new ways to be enlightened, to be inspired, and rub shoulders with people who are trying to do the same thing as you, to live a greater, more effective, and more powerful, a more love-filled life. Because time really doesn't change all things. It's love. Love changes all things. It's how you see yourself based on your past experiences. And do you every now and then dig back into those things to figure out, why do you feel a certain way about particular things? Why do you do things that you do? Why do you say things that you say based on your past experiences? You know, and also your biblical beliefs. You know, if you believe in a higher power, what type of guidance has that higher power led you to be? To see things and deal with situations? Has it given you the power to know that it's okay not to know something and to seek answers? That's right. You know, we're human. We only know what we know. We only know what we know. And there is way more information out there that exists that we have no clue about, or we know that we don't fully understand compared to what we do know. So our heart and minds is never that, you know, I'm good. You know, that mindset like I'm good. Or that mindset that you know, like you can't teach me, or that mindset that life can't get any better than this. This is just how life is going to be for me because of the choices that I made in the past. No. You can move from strength to strength. You can be inspired by the people that you surround yourself with. And that's kind of where I wanted to start things off is, you know, it's in this whole pandemic mindset, you're kind of trying to figure out like what to do with your time. You know, for those who are still looking for a job or inspiring to live their dream, you know, that you could spend a whole lot of time trying to figure out how to spend your time. But more important, I would think, more important or more impactful or impacting on your life, let me say that, is not on how you spend your time, is with whom you spend your time with. the people that you talk to throughout the day, throughout the week, the people that you turn to for situations that you're feeling a particular way about, or just to simply celebrate. Like if something good happens to you, you want to have people all up in your business that will know that this thing is happening and it could happen and possibly happening. So when it happens, you have someone to talk to about, and they can tell you about, oh my God, you went through it. I can't believe it. Yo, all that time you poured into that, all this and all those obstacles that you overcame. That's right. Tell your business. Those to whom that surround you makes life so much fuller. Yes, people need to know your business. And now, especially if you're going through a rough patch, when you go through a rough patch, it's those examples that surround you that kind of give you that knee-jerk response for those moments. The people that you surround yourself with, the people that you are close to, how are they living their lives? Like when you look at their lives, are they people that you would love to? I want some of what they have. That's who should surround you. The people that move the needle. Maybe they might not be doing the craft that you're pursuing. They might not be, big public figures. Sometimes we look for those type of things. It's really those. They're just people that will stop and listen and share their thoughts with you. So often in relationships or certain situations that'll take place in your life, we're looking for the big things in life. But life is really about the little things, the little small intricate details that only your closest friends will know about you. And especially those who really care. And these are the times when it's a perfect opportunity for you to show up. These are the times, because this pandemic, people are getting sick still. People are going through a rough time. There are still 14 million people without a job. 14 million people. So they need you. They need a personality like yours who's willing to join in on shows like this. The GunterMan show, strictly all about increasing what you know, about the closest things to you, your relationships, how you deal with like the harder aspects of your life. How do you function? How do you overcome obstacles? This is the stuff you're here to see and to hear about and to glean from. Because it's not a show where it's simply me sharing all my information with you. This platform is getting other people to hop on screen with me and to share the things that they know, to share the things that you know. Because I try every now and then to open up the floor for people to join us on screen. Because it's simple. All you do is send me a request and I bring you up on screen, and then you can ask questions. You can share your perspectives. That's right, with me and my people. That's right. And then, of course, this goes on to YouTube and all the other social media platforms because people need to hear. People need to be encouraged. And you might not think that your story is grand enough to impact a life, but I'm telling you that what you know makes a difference. What you believe in and how you overcame situations or how you claimed a victory. Remember we talked about last week, claiming a victory means that you've been through some battles. In order for you to claim a victory, that means you have gone through a battle. And the battles that you have won, you can teach people how to do that. That's right. What's up, guys? I'm seeing you pop in. I appreciate you. I do appreciate you. Of course, let us know where you're chiming in from. Let us know where you're chiming in from. I saw Queens. I saw Baltimore one. Let us know where you're coming in from before I bring up the doctor in the house. Well, guys, you know what? I'm not even going to waste more time because I know that she's a talker and I'm a talker, so I want to kind of jump right into it. But before we get into that, I want to remind you that we're on every single Thursday, but due to the holidays coming up, which is Christmas Eve and then New Year's Eve, We're going to have those 2 weekends off, and we're going to start fresh the weekend after that. Yes, right. Greensboro in the house, North Carolina in the house. Tuckahoe, yes, right. Brittany in the building. That's right. That's right. So we'll have those 2 weekends off. And of course, if you think of some good topics, send them in to me. That's right. That's right. Soapbox Stand Up and Speak or All Access Rick. You can find me on Facebook. All right. Enough about me. Let's get into the doctor. Dr. Dawn Hicks TAFARI. Now, you can just go by the title and understand that, yes, she's an associate professor at the Winston-Salem State University out in North Carolina. But she's also the founder of Love, Eat, and Build, which is an initiative how to love yourself, how to love others, which I love, because how to love others, it shapes you. It's amazing how you love others. It teaches you how to be like having a justice mindset, building in your community. It's teaching you how to eat properly. It's even deals with your idea consumption. What are you consuming? Well, to introduce herself and tell you what she's involved with, because she's also the co-founder, and because it is the season, the co-founder of the Kwanzaa Collective out in Greensboro. So maybe she could share a little bit about that, how to live those 7-day principles, 365 days of the year. So guys, give some hearts, give some thumbs up, raise those roofs. That's right. Let her know how you feel, because she is about to hit the screen with me. Guys, please welcome Dr. Dawn Hicks TAFARI, joining us on any second. Boy, she is full of energy, so get ready. And if you have a notepad, get it ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready! That's right! Now, I feel fantastic. Let me make sure, let's get the sound check. Make sure I can hear you clearly. Talk to me a little bit. Talk to me a little. So I can make sure you're good.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm talking. Check.
Yeah.
My mic sounds nice. Check. One.
Oh,
Mic
yeah. Now, wait. Just so it doesn't throw you off, guys. Yes, I mentioned that it's Greensboro, North Carolina. But the girl is from the Bronx. That's right.
The boogie down.
The boogie down Bronx. That's right. Well, whenever you speak, you're kind of breaking in and out. So just be mindful of that. I'll let you know if you hold it up. You see with my hands up to hold up and say it again. Say it again. So hold up or say it again so you don't. But you're going to end up flowing. The key thing is that you're going to end up flowing. First, let people know maybe where to find you or to what do you do. Talk about those 3 aspects, the associate professor, as well as love, eat, and build, and of course Kwanzaa, because this is the season. And of course, well, I'll let her, because she's gonna be full of stories. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna hand the microphone over. She's yours.
Hey family. So I'm Dr. Dawn, Mama Dawn. I'm from the Boogie Down. I'm a hip hop baby, hip hop feminist. I'd love to talk about that a little bit. And so I ended up in Greensboro, North Carolina. Don't ask me. I made a left at the right, and I'm in Greensboro. I don't know how it happened. But I teach at Winston-Salem State University, which is an HBCU, one of the best in the country. And I teach in the Department of Ed. So what I do is I teach people who want to be teachers. And I think that that's such important work, because teaching is one of the most noble professions, right? Everybody, rocket scientists, had to pass the 3rd grade. You know what I mean? Like, in order to do any career, teachers make every career possible. So I teach people how to be teachers, especially how to become social justice activists, right? And social justice advocates, right? My job is to put people in front of your children who I want to teach my children, people who see children in all their complexities, and they want to make the world, literally, and all this cliche, a better place. right? And so that's what I do. I'm newly tenured. Well, I got tenured back in the spring, which is a big deal for faculty at the college level. What it means is that the university has smelled my shit and decided that it don't stink. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm cussing a little bit. I won't cuss no more. I won't cuss no
You be you. Because remember, who you are is exactly what someone's going to need. So
more.
do
Yeah.
not curb a
Yeah.
thing.
Thank
Go.
you. All right. All right. So that's what it means to be tenured, right? The university says, look, we want you here for life. We think you're great. So I have a job for life. So that's what tenure means. And so that's an awesome thing. Also, like I said, you said I'm one of the founders of the Greensboro Kwanzaa Collective, which is a collective of families, right? Nia is from Oakland, California. Jamil is from Connecticut via Baltimore, and I'm from the Boogie Down by, I live in Baltimore. And we all ended up in Greensboro, and we're all passionate about Kwanzaa. And so the beautiful thing about that, Rick, as you know, is that you were the first person to ever tell me about Kwanzaa. I learned about Kwanzaa from Ricky G, right? One of the many times he would drive me home, we used to dance together and work for the same entertainment company. And Ricky would drive me home and we would talk. And he was talking about Kwanzaa one time. And then I was like, well, what's that? And he was like, it's a celebration of African family and culture. And I was like, okay, but what they do? And so you taught me all about it. And so it has been a passion of mine. And I have celebrated Kwanzaa consistently every single year for the past 20 years. When I think I started for the really first time as far as having it in my family, as part of my family, and when my daughter was born. And so she celebrated it her entire life. And so Kwanzaa is a big part of us. And so what we started doing is I realized that my home was getting packed, right? We were having a lot of people over and especially when I moved to Greensboro, people were hungry about culture. People were hungry and wanted to learn more about Kwanzaa. So, my house was packed. So my friends and I said, why not let's start a citywide celebration. So we literally put our collective minds together. We got support, we got funding, and we started hosting citywide celebrations. 7 days, citywide Kwanzaa celebrations in Greensboro, 150 people a day. It was amazing. And this is the first year. Obviously, we're not going to have a full face-to-face celebration, but we are going to have one virtual. So if you're interested in that, Greensboro Kwanzaa Collective on Facebook. We're still a little old school. Greensboro Kwanzaa Collective on Facebook. Check us out on Facebook if you want to check us out each day. Kwanzaa starts December 26th and it goes to January 1st. So every day. Okay, so that's one of my passions is the Kwanzaa. And stemming from that, right? The Nguzo Saba is it's a pathway, right? It's like a way of living, right? These are principles that we live each and every day. And so in living in my Kuji Chakalia, right, which is self-determination, I knew that I needed a different way to reach people, right? And to talk about the things that were passionate to me. And one of the most important things was to bring together the different parts of myself, right? So here I am over here, I'm a hip hop baby, right? I'm this hardcore hip hop feminist, this hip hop head. And then I'm this teacher. And then I'm this strict vegetarian foodie, right? And then I'm this AKA. And then I wanted to figure out how I was operating in silos, right? My parts of me. Well, I don't want to say were fractured, but just I had certain parts of me that were just very separate. And what I wanted to find was a way to bring all of those things together in one platform. And that's what Love, Eat, Build is. Love, Eat, Build was a way for me to bring together the parts of myself and present myself to my people, right? In a real holistic way that feels good. So that's where I get to talk. That's where I get to be my hip hop feminist self. I get to be my social justice activist self. I get to be the strict vegetarian foodie and talk about that. I get to be the teacher. I get to be the Alpha Kappa Alpha woman. All the different parts of me come together at Love, Eat, Build. And so that's the platform that I started, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook. But it's a really special, fun place to really, like I said, share my thoughts and ideas. And I critique hip hop, and I share all kinds of different things, and talk about food, and not just from a mindset of this is what's healthy, but like you mentioned earlier, it's about mindful eating, right? It's about being mindful of the ideas that we consume, right? And what we put in our bodies, right? It's about being mindful. So that's a little, hey, oh, my girl Danielle had meatless meals yesterday. And I love that. And a lot of my friends have talked to me about that. And I think, Ricky, you and we talked about after you watched What the Health. Right?
What the Health. Wow, that's right. And then we
Right.
went to that restaurant in Greenwich Village.
Yes, that raw food restaurant, which is hardcore. Going raw vegan is something else. Yeah, man, but we really do got to watch what we put in our bodies. We got to just be mindful about it. I don't think there's anything wrong with eating meat. I know lots of people who eat meat and are very healthy, right? There's nothing wrong with eating meat. I just think we need to balance that with making sure you're eating raw fruits and veggies, right? You can have your steak, but have a salad with it. You know what I mean? So that you're making sure that your body's getting some fiber, that your body's getting those live nutrients.
So often when it comes to eating, you kind of just repeat the habits of your parents. So whatever sicknesses run in your family, am I touching anything? Whatever sicknesses are running in your family, it's kind of just passed down from generation to generation because you're eating the same thing. So understand how big it is to break from that. Now, I am what most of you guys know me as. I'm a New York foodie. Literally, I will hop on a plane to go get a meal. My friends will tell you, I'm going to spend, food in Thailand, 14 days in Thailand so I can eat. Oh, that's right. Cuba? Oh, yeah. I'm on my way. That's right. So understand that it will take a real effort to redevelop your taste buds to these new foods. But understand what I just said, that your taste is simply something that you taught yourself. You prefer these things. You taught your taste buds. Now, if you were to start leaving some of those things, to lay them to the side for every now and then, let your body get filled with plant-based foods. I'm telling you, and trust me, that your body will hug you, will manifest this side of you that's just like, it will feel spiritual. And I'm not even kind of playing with you. Talk to them, man. Talk to them.
Right. When you talk about food, right? Food is cultural, right? When we define culture, right? So a lot of what I do, right? I'm a social justice activist. So a lot of my research and my work focuses on race and culture and the implications of race and culture and gender on school, right? And on teaching and on children and educational practices and policy. Culture is defined as the ideas, right? The ideas, the food, the lifestyle that is transmitted from generation to generation, right? Whenever you think of a different cultural group, different than race, right? Race are these four antiquated, defined groups, right? Race is the realest, fakest thing you'll ever go and find, you're going to ever encounter, right? It was made up in the 14th century. You got the Caucasoid, the Australoid, the Negroid, right? You got these four groups. And then, and so it's based on physical characteristics. And we know in this day and time, the way human beings move around, race is just such a ridiculous idea. But it's a social construct. And then, like I said, it's the realest, fakest thing that you ever encounter. But culture is different because culture has to do with how we eat, the music we listen to, the types of languages we speak, how we talk, what's okay and what's not okay. Some people, the child can look an adult in the eye. Some families it can't look an adult straight in the eye, right? Some you look at me when I'm talking to you. Who are you looking at, right? All of that is culture. And foods, recipes are passed down. We look at diseases and we think that they run rampant, right? It's genetic. Diabetes is not genetic. It's cultural. We pass diabetes down generation to generation, not in our genes, but in the recipes, in the fact that we take sweet potatoes that are naturally sweet and then we add
syrup and butter and
sugar and butter, and we bake it in a pie and we eat it, and then we eat candied yams, right? And then we take macaroni and cheese and eggs and 4, 5 different kinds of cheese, and and then we wonder why we have heart disease, right? Right, right. But and that's our comfort food, right? These are our comfort food. These are the foods that make us feel like home. But that's all cultural, right? That's all cultural. These are the things that remind us of grandma, right? We still eating what a lot of my friends call slave food, right? Chitlins. There's no reason. There's no reason for us. There's absolutely, there was a time when our ancestors had to eat chitlins or die, right? Because that was all they had. That's what was given to them, right? I get it. I know why we ate chitlins. I know why my great-great-great-grandmother ate chitlins. But there's absolutely no reason. The only reason we eat them now is because it's cultural, because it reminds us of something. It makes us feel like home, right? It reminds us of something. And so those are some of those things we want to break away from, because some of those things we don't need anymore, right? Like you said, they're not good for our bodies. We have to break those cycles, right? You break the chain, break every chain, right? Some of these chains are still holding us, and it's unnecessarily so. And we can find replacements. So a lot of people tease me because I'll make a veggie burger. I made a mock tuna the other day, and I used chickpeas instead of tuna fish. And say, well, why do vegetarians do that? Why don't you just call it something else? Why do you call it mock tuna? If you want tuna, just eat the tuna. And I'm like, well, because I still have the memory of it, right? I wasn't born a vegetarian. My children have been vegetarians all their lives, but I wasn't born a vegetarian. So I remember tuna salad, and I remember how I felt making it, and I know the role that it plays in community in my life. So I like feeling like I'm still eating the tuna fish, right?
I made tuna salad today.
Ah, look at that. See, it has those feelings, right? Like my veggie turkey roast that I make on Thanksgiving. I want to feel like I'm eating turkey with everyone else. I want that belongingness, right? Food oftentimes has this feeling of belongingness.
Yeah, food is family.
Food is family. So I don't want to be sitting there just with my salad. I want to be eating turkey too. So I'm going to have something that looks and has a similar appearance and similar smell and similar taste to turkey, so that I can feel this sense of belonging. And that's real, right? We strive for that. Humans, I always say, we do not exist independently. People like, oh, I was born alone, I'm gonna die alone. No, you weren't. You weren't born alone.
Nope.
You weren't, unless you were born, even if you were born in a test tube, somebody put you in there. Somebody watched the egg. Like we were not born alone. There was a whole human being that pushed you out of her body. There was a whole human being who contributed 23 of those chromosomes. How dare you say you were born alone? You weren't born alone. We don't exist independently, and therefore you and I are one, right? We exist together. Right? We need one another. We need one another. And so in order for us, this thing, so it's okay for us. It's okay for a vegetarian to say, oh, I like veggie burgers, because I remember eating burgers, and there's an emotional memory that comes with eating a burger, with wanting to belong and not wanting to stand out and sit apart. And that's okay. So that's a large reason why vegetarians eat stuff that looks like,
the mock.
The mock tuna and the mock this and the mock that, because why not?
I like the direction you were going with how we need each other.
Okay.
Like, how we feel about ourselves has a large part to do with our past experiences. They shape the way we see situations, how we see others, as well as how we see ourselves. And the relationships we have with everyone, a lot of times is based on who we are and how we feel about ourselves. Can you expound a little bit on that aspect? Because I know the Love, Eat, and Build has that concept where you love yourself, which you won me over once you said love yourself, because that's what this whole show is about. Finding ways to practically apply the principles that you believe in that takes you to a higher power to everyday life situations through conversation, through interacting with people. So how, share with us a little bit about how to love yourself, and secondly, how to love others. What are the concepts with your Love, Eat, Build Foundation? Tell us a little bit more about that.
So this love for self is rooted in the principle of Kuji Chakalia, right? Which is self-determination. So I think it starts with looking at who am I? Asking myself that question, right? 3 questions. Who am I? Am I who I say I am? And then, am I all I ought to be? Right? Who am I? Am I who I say I am? And then, am I all I ought to be? So when I ask that question, I ask myself the question, who am I? Okay, what are those things? I'm Black, I'm a woman, I'm a cis woman, right? I'm a professor, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a lover, right? I'm all of these things. I'm a cousin, I'm a sister. I said sister, right? I think I said sister. Hi, sister. Right? We're all of these things. And then I could say I'm an intellectual, I'm a hip hop baby, I'm a dancer, I'm this much of a singer, right? Right? I'm all of these things. And then I can say, okay, so looking at these things on the surface, what does each of those things mean? Right? What does it mean to be Black? Right? What does it mean to be a Black woman? What does it mean to be a cis Black woman? Right? What does that mean in America 2020? Right? So then I start to kind of think about, again, what all that means is double consciousness. I'm Black, I have to be aware of those things. I have this melanin, I'm connected to the continent, right? And then what about those things do I love? What about those things that are amazing? How can I appreciate those things? How can I appreciate the melanin? How can I appreciate my big lips and my big nose and my kinky hair? How can I learn to love and appreciate those things and to take the time and do the work to make sure that I'm loving and appreciating those things by learning more about those things, right? When I'm not limited to the history that was taught to me in elementary school, right? When I go out and I reach back and I take the trip to visit the motherland if I can, or I read books and I watch YouTube videos, right? There's all this information at your fingertips nowadays. I give myself the opportunity to fall in love with each of those identities, right? When I talked about those different parts of me, who am I fall in love with the different parts of those identities. And then that comes together, right? With who I say I am? Okay, well, I say I'm a smart Black woman. Am I really? Am I making smart choices? How do I define smart, right? How do I define Black? Am I living? Am I standing in my power? Am I surrounding myself with people who support me? Am I building a community am I working to make this world better than it was when I inherited it? Like, or am I just do I just use resources? Do I just use people? Do I just consume and not give back? Am I growing? Am I exercising my brain? And then as I exercise my brain, am I hoarding knowledge or am I sharing the knowledge? Because what good is it if you just keep it all to yourself? Like, what good is knowledge if you keep it all to yourself? Am I sharing that information? Am I giving it back? Am I teaching and learning? That's one of the things I love about teaching so much. Because I tell my students, so I said, I get smarter and smarter every year. And they look at me and I said, and it's not because I have a PhD. It's not because I read books. It's because I interact with you. Every time I interact with you, there's this awesome exchange happening.
Yes.
Exchange. And I'm just like, yo, I'm the smartest person in the world because I just got to interact with 60 amazing human beings this last fall. And guess what? In the spring, I'm going to get to interact with another 60 amazing human beings. How can I not be brilliant? Because this constant exchange of information, all of them have something to teach me. Every single thing that I do is a learning experience. I I'm not done. When I'm done, then I'm dead, right? As long as I'm here, as long as I'm on this planet, I believe I'm here because the ancestors have something for me to do, right? I'm here because I'm here to learn. So that's constantly part of the process. And that leads me to the next one. Am I all I ought to be, right? So constantly, whenever you get complacent, you have to see, okay, what else, what am I missing, right? What am I missing? What else do I need to do? Is there a part, as Sheila said, fall in love with each of my identities. Is there a part of myself that I'm still not totally in love with? Am I not loving myself well enough? Okay, and if I'm really good with loving myself, can I do a better job at loving others? Right? Maybe there's something I'm missing. Right? Maybe I was a little nasty to that person yesterday. Maybe I wasn't as compassionate as I had. Maybe I have a lot of I'm really comfortable, but I'm not sharing enough. I had a conversation yesterday with some of my colleagues, and we were talking about, pass fail grades and things like that. And someone said, oh, well, students will just, if they know they can take a pass fail, they won't work so hard because they know they can take a pass fail. And I said, I'm a teacher, and I have to remember that to have compassion. I said, I'm sitting here. I have class privilege, right? I have this degree. When COVID hit, my work was not interrupted. My salary was not interrupted. I was sent home. I was sent to work from home, but I have a home that I own. My mortgage gets paid every month on time. I have a brilliant daughter who has all resources at her fingertips. She's able to do her schoolwork on her laptop without interruption. She's got Wi-Fi and everything she needs. How dare I want to hold my students to a different standard when I know that they may not have all of those ducks in a row, that they may not by their own fault, right? So I have to remember, right, with great power comes great responsibility, right? And so I have to remember that I have this class privilege, and guess what? I have all of this, and I still should have been struggling for the past 9 months. COVID has been kicking my butt, thankfully not physiologically, but mentally, it's been tough. Ricky, I'm an extreme extrovert.
Yes.
I need to be out touching people, dancing and smiling and traveling. And I have been stuck in this house, and it has been driving me bananas. And my friends and family have been sick, and people have been losing people, and that hurts my heart. Right. It hurts my heart so bad to see people. And then it's scary, right? This whole thing is scary. So I think about what I've been through these past 9 months.
And you have all that.
And I have my home, my salary uninterrupted. My daughter is doing well academically. I have all of that. I cannot begin to imagine the struggle of someone who has to deal with that psychological turmoil and financial stress and physical stress, right? I can't. So we have to exercise compassion. Am I all that I ought to be? How can I be better? How can I say I have to constantly remind myself of my privilege, right? Of the identity. Remember, I talked about those identities. I fall in love with my identities, right? But I gotta be willing to check myself when I start smelling my stuff a little too much, right?
You have a question. You have a question that just came in. Can you want to read it out? There's a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Can you read it? How can you
quiet the noise of the outside world so you can fall in love with all aspects of who we are and not who others think we are? Oh, I'm gonna go run around the church right quick. Okay. It starts with stepping back, right? It starts with
let's stop right there. Mm-hmm. That is almost everything to finding out who you are and how you're operating. If you do not step back, we're gonna answer that question. So don't lose your thread of thought. But the thing is that whenever you're in a situation that's following you from month to month or to year, it is proof that there's not enough people in your life that knows your business, that's close enough to help you shift out of or to shift through or to sift through the things that are going on inside your head. Whenever you're reliving a year and it's not getting better, it's a clear sign that there's not enough people that surround you that you're utilizing to get the very best version of yourself, or to remove yourself, or to build up yourself, to inspire yourself. As I always say, to push and pull you in whatever direction need be in order for you. So the first thing you have to do is to be able to step back. Go for it. Go for it, doctor.
CYV. Check your village. CYV. Check your village. So when you step back, you got to look at the people who are around you, right? And all those people making you, are they pushing you down, or are they lifting you up, right? And even sometimes they can't lift you up, but maybe they just holding, you ever like get weak and somebody just try, look, I'm just gonna keep you from falling down. I can't pick you up because you're bigger than me, but I can keep you from falling, right? That's right. What, are they holding you up, or are they pushing you down? And sometimes you have to, reevaluate your village, right? Your support. I'm all about support system. I don't keep people around me who are not for me, right? And then those three questions I said, who am I? Am I who I say I am? Am I all I ought to be? I'm so serious that those questions center and ground me, right? They center and ground me and helping me to quiet the noise. I'm looking at the question, quiet the noise of outside world. So when I ask myself, who am I, right? Then when I sit down, and do it on paper if you need to, right? Do it on paper. I recommend writing it out.
Journaling is huge.
I'm not a big journaler. I don't know why, but I believe in it. And I know.
I know why you're not a journaler, because you're a talker. Right? It's simple. It's real simple. But there's something powerful about formulating your ideas into complete sentences. That's why when I do private sessions with clients, I say, don't you understand, with you just making the effort to try to share with me the things that are going on in your life, you're already moving forward. You're already surging forward, because it takes work. It takes you daring to say, I understand this aspect about me. So let me tell you what I think is going on in my life. And that's already empowering. Go for it. Go for it.
So writing those things down, right? Answering that first question, those three questions. Let me say them again. Who am I? Am I who I say I am? Am I all I ought to be? That's the Kawaii philosophy. I didn't make those up, right? That first one, right? Who am I? Write down those things. Identify your identities. What spaces do you inhabit, right? Race, gender, sexuality, religion, nationality, language, ability. That's what I'm talking about. Those things. Who are you? Right? I know I'm human, right? But like I said, and I'm a Black woman. I know I can say I'm a Black, but what does that mean? Right? What does it mean to be Black? A lot of people like say, were you Black first or were you female first? Right? And it's like, I think, I'm Black first, honestly, because when my Black mama and my Black daddy got together, they knew the child was going to be Black. They didn't know what sex she was going to be, right? Sex was determined, but they knew I was going to be Black before we knew what my sex was going to be, right? So what does that mean to be Black in America, right? So I start by looking at those identities. And then again, so look what I'm doing. I'm tuning in. I'm answering the question about myself. That's Puji Jakalia. I'm answering the question about who am I? I'm not asking anybody else. Who do you think I am? Who am I? These are my answers to the question. And then I answer them. And then after I've gotten all of that out, I've answered who I am. Then I answer the question, am I who I say I am? Because this is where you start to critique and analyze yourself. Like, I'm a strong Black woman. Okay, well, am I strong? How have I shown strength? How have I shown courage? Have I been brave? And baby, it's okay if you haven't. It's okay, because you know what, that very first thing you are is human, right? And so it's okay if you haven't, because that's where you start. That's where the work becomes, right? Is, am I who I say I am? Is, okay, well, you know what? I like to believe that I'm strong, but I haven't been that strong this year.
Right.
Okay, how can I do that, right? Well, that's where you start to set goals. Again, this is all your work in here. It's all my work. Am I who I say I am? Okay, I'm checking myself. After you've done the self-check, then if you have a trusted circle of folk where you can say, you know, I've been doing this activity and I think I'm strong. What do you feel like I've shown strength this year? Because sometimes your good friends, your good sisters, and your good brothers know you well. They know you well. They can be like, well, sis, I know you don't think you're strong, but when your cat died, you held it together. And that was your cat for 15 years. You know what I mean? And you
Yeah.
really, you walked through it, and you had that funeral, and you got the little cat, you know, and it's, you know, and I'm talking about cats, but you know, my puppy died, and it broke me, right? And so that those hard times, look at the people who were there to witness you through those hard times, and they can help you answer some of those questions, but only
Yep.
after you answered them yourself.
Right.
Don't
Because
let
it's
other people answer those questions first.
right. Because it's going to teach you how you're showing up. How are you operating? Because that's what your friends. So if you're a friend, and we all are friends to someone, be the type of friend that tells the truth,
Yeah.
but tell the truth in a kind way. You know, that I don't believe in that whole keeping it real, because keeping it real doesn't often come off very nice. But if you're a real friend, that means you've paid attention long enough to know how to serve up your ideas, your concepts, your likes, your dislikes, things about them in a way that they can receive it. Because that's what a friend does. That's what love does. Love
That's what
figures out how to present it in a way that the other person could receive it, and hopefully it empowers them to do something with it.
right. Compassion. Right? Compassion. So we've answered that question, who am I? We've answered the question, am I who I say I am? And then, am I all I ought to be? So you've identified these things, your identities, right? And you've done this self-check on, okay, this is what I say I am. Am I doing those things? Am I really that? And then, okay, I've done that work. Am I all I ought to be? Can I be more? And I'm not talking about not being happy, right? We all want to, we have goals and right? Because that's Nia, right? Purpose. You want to have goals for yourself, right?
Correct.
It's about how can you be better, right? It's the next step of that self-check. Am I all I ought to be? So I really am blessed. My mortgage is paid every month. How can I, if I'm this comfortable, I know there's a lot of people who are not. Maybe there's a little more that I can be doing for my community.
Well, shucks, it's
Maybe there is a little more. I've been reading all these books and getting these degrees. Maybe I should do a podcast or a blog, or maybe I should be writing. Maybe I could write a book, or maybe I should teach some classes at the local community center, or maybe I should do some. I don't know. Like, what else? What can you do with the gifts that you have?
I'll have to jump in, because the
Mhm.
part of your Love, Eat, Build that you did not mention is how you promote other businesses like crazy. She will do a full commercial for your thing. She will do, I kid you not. She'll get the box, she'll put the video, she'll present it, opening the box, and oh my, and it's earrings, and it's that, or it's a full, oh my, she promotes countless amount of businesses. That's, and it's a part of who she is. So it's living in that, am I being all I ought to be? You know, part of, say if you wasn't sure with how to achieve such great things, live your passion, find your calling, your purpose, and dare to live it, because it's in the living of your calling. It's in the going after your purpose, living it is where you will see that the things that reside in your head that you see as being higher, greater, more beautiful will come all into play, will be manifested, come into fruition through you going after your calling. One of the most powerful things you can do is to know what your calling is and then to go after it. Because once again, the whole God or the universe will conspire to make sure that that purpose is fulfilled, that that calling. Because if you're wondering, like, why hasn't this thing come about, maybe it's partly maybe because you haven't dared to live what you have inside you.
I say.
You have this thing inside you, but you don't want to go live it. And you wonder why it's not, these great things are not coming your way, because you're not living what's inside you. How are you going to be trusted with anything new if you don't live what you already have?
Right. Have the audacity. That's my favorite words. Audacity to be your full self. There's always more. There's always more. And when you feel like there's no more, it's okay to step back and take a break, right? Because it's about, again, checking yourself and checking your village and saying, okay, you know what, I'm tired.
Yeah. You don't want to go from battle to battle to battle to battle, because victory is victory, but battling is battling. Yeah,
Right.
It leads to victory, but stop sometimes.
Sometimes you got to stop and reflect. I was just talking about that, about how this year has been very difficult. So I'm an educator, right? I've been a teacher for 23 years.
Hush your mouth.
I know. I've been a teacher since I was 2.
There you go.
So I've been a teacher, and so I'm an academic, right? And so one thing about us is I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm spoiled. I am off in the summers. I'm off for the winter break. I get a Memorial Day. I get a spring break. I get a fall break.
Jewish holidays.
Jewish holidays. Not in North Carolina, unfortunately. I miss that. I miss that in New York, but not in North Carolina. They like a Rosh hoop. They don't care about Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. But so I like my breaks, but those breaks are necessary, because when I teach with my full self. Teaching, when I tell my students, I tell them, if you're not exhausted by the end of the day, you haven't done your best teaching, right? Because teaching is a full-bodied exchange. I am literally opening up my brain and pouring everything out and then receiving. So it's a constant, active process. I am exhausted at the end of the day. So teaching is an exhausting job. I love it. It's like running, right? I love it. I'm having a great time, but it's exhausting. And so we need those breaks.
Yes.
To rejuvenate, to sleep in, and just to rest. And,
right.
and like I said, to rejuvenate, right? Even a runner, you stop to drink some water, right? You got to have a meal every now and then. So
the catch is that if you don't take a break, because remember how they always teach you to give from your overflow. If you don't take a break, after a while, you're going to start giving from your cup.
You're pouring from an empty cup. And I just said that to a good sister friend 2 days ago. I said, sis, I'm pouring from an empty cup. And we all know an empty cup is empty. So that means I got nothing left to live. And so in March, Corona happened right before spring break. So, we're all excited and waiting for spring break. Students had left, but faculty was still there. And then we get everything is shutting down. You have to change all your courses over to online. So my spring break was spent renovating my courses and organizing and changing everything to online instruction, which is not as easy as it sounds, right? And then I have to face my students, and I created a video for them, talking to them. And it took me about 4 days to get myself together to make this video. And I still cried on the video, because here I am teaching. I have college seniors, right? I have athletes, people who were in sororities, were hoping to be in sororities and fraternities, who were pledging, and all of that shut down. Can you imagine being a senior in college, from maybe even from a family where you're the first generation college graduate? Well, shoot, even if you come from a line of college graduates,
it still matters to you.
It still mattered. That graduate, and then you're being told that there will be no graduation. What? I've been planning on walking across this stage for the past 22 years. My grandmama is coming from Memphis to see me walk across. You saying there will be no graduation? Athletes who were playing, and maybe some of them in their last semesters, people pledging sororities who've been wanting to do that all their lives, lines just dropped. It was devastating for young people. It was devastating. And I remember just sitting there making this video in this same exact place. And I just said, and I was talking to my students, I said, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I said, we are living in horrifying times right now. So we are switching the class over online. I said, we're going to get through this together. And then I said, and my graduating seniors, and I just remember just bawling. And I said, my heart goes out to you. I know that you have been waiting to walk across that stage, and it won't happen in May. And the worst part about it is we don't know when it will happen, right? They were told, oh, it's going to happen in August. Oh, well, December. We don't know when we'll have face-to-face graduations again. And so that is part of the, so that's what I was talking about, this break, that we have not had this break. And so all summer we spent, faculty have spent training and trying to prepare online classes for the fall. And then because the schedules, the calendars have been changed, they took away fall break, they took away homecoming, which, as you know, was a major release for HBCUs in the South. And so we're on winter break, and we have not had a break. I literally have not had a break since March. And so I said to my colleagues the other day, I said, December 18th, Dr. TAFARI is putting on that out of office responder, and you will not see me until January 11th, because I have to take a break because I'm pouring from an empty cup. And I had to protect myself in that way. And again, this is somebody who sits with class privilege, right? I'm able to do that. So that is a blessing. I recognize a lot of people can't do that, right? But I needed to do that to protect myself. So that's part of this taking care of me, right? If I'm gonna fall in love with my identities, what do you do when you love someone? You take care of them. If they're sick, you give them food, you give them water, you help them get better. Shouldn't I do that for me? I can't just wait for somebody else to do it. You want other people to do it. Sure, I want to be loved and doted on and taken care of when I'm sick. But if I'm sick, I have to make sure that I'm taking care of me. And that's where that self-love starts, right? It starts with, again, quieting on the noise and being willing to stop and focus, right? And have the audacity to be my full self, right? The audacity of it all. That's my.
Guys, come on. This is it. The GunterMan show. We know one full hour of some really amazing topics. You know, like, hey guys, if you love what you heard today, give her a whole bunch of hearts, give us some thumbs up. Let her know, because I know you're hitting some chords, because I know I have a friend here that their 2 kids had to wait to graduate. You know, my daughter had to do an online graduation, graduated from Howard University. And we wanted to turn up. You know, that's right. Shucks. That's that's right. You know, you like you just couldn't. You just, online is what it is right now. Okay, that's all right. You know, so guys, come on. Like, what do you think? Are these conversations giving are you giving you life? Are you getting to think about the how to do these things? Because it's wonderful to hear amazing speech, but she's giving you the tools on how to actually do it. Like he said, like this is how we do it. That's right. Yeah, but that's how we do it, right? Oh, well, don't get me started with the but but that's the truth of it. That's the truth. Like, it's one thing to have knowledge, but if you don't know how to apply it, where's the power going to come in? Where's the power? So that's what this is. We only know what we know. And what we know isn't everything there is to know. It is designed to get you to the place where you're seeking out that information, that you're going after those bits and pieces of your life that either doesn't feel fulfilled, doesn't feel like it's the real you, or that you should be doing more. You feel like you should be doing something more, you know?
Right.
And one of the greatest healers, and I'll end with this, is serving. One of the greatest gifts you can give to yourself is serving people. Take your mind off yourself and serve. Now, if your business like she is, where she's always giving, you have to now do the opposite. You have to stop. You can't go from battle to battle to battle to battle. Even though you keep claiming victory, after a while, you're going to be depleted. And when you're depleted, you're more open to attacks that will really leave a mark. So guys, here we are. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Dr. Dawn Hicks TAFARI in the building. That's right. Once again, tell everyone where to find you, to follow you on social media, and then we'll close out with that.
Okay, so I love Eat Build on Instagram. Love Eat Build, no periods, at Love Eat Build, LOVEEATBUILD. And the same thing on Facebook. By Facebook, you can look up Love Eat Build, or Dr. Dawn Hicks TAFARI is my Facebook page. And yeah, and I'm at Winston-Salem State University. So if you're looking for a university and you want to be an education major, come on through.
Hey guys, and I see there's a bunch of new people out there.
And I know people are talking about, and I want to give some love. Bev is on, and hey Bev, lost her daddy this year, and so I want to bring him.
Beverly, that I know Beverly.
Yes.
Oh, Bev.
Yes.
Oh, dang.
Yes. And bring her in this space, and bring him in this space. I love you, Bev. We love you, Bev.
Can we let's say a closing prayer for Bev? Yes,
please. Let's do that.
Yeah.
And when we talk about, Bev, we got you, baby. We're gonna pray. We're gonna do a prayer.
Yeah, we do that right now.
I want to say about breaks, right? The best warriors, and I did a video on this on my page. The best warriors win battles not by looking for conflict, but by preparing in advance. Right? They prepare. Think about warriors. They prepare so that when they go to battle, they are ready. They're strong, right? And so that requires those breaks. That does require those breaks. It requires that you fortify. And so we have to do that. And sometimes you do that by yourself, and sometimes you do that with community. But we have to fortify. And now we're going to surround Bev.
Definitely.
During this time, it was especially hard because she couldn't go home. Trinidad. She couldn't go home to be with him. And so that's a tough time. So let's take care of one another, right? That's what I always say. Love yourself, love others, eat mindfully, consume good foods, consume positive thoughts, and take care of the people around you. Build community.
Yeah, definitely. Because if you're not taking care of the people that surround you, how dare you think about succeeding in business? If you can't take care of the people closest to you, how in the world are you going to serve a world around you?
I say.
I'm getting emotional with Bev. I didn't know.
Yeah.
All the best, Bev. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. From the GunterMan show to you guys and everyone, like for those who don't know me, you can follow me on social media, of course, Soapbox Stand Up and Speak, Facebook, as well as Instagram. But at this time, let's just say something for Bev. So Beverly, in the name of your God, we just want to thank you. Thank you for watching over each and every member here. Thank you for the hearts of Beverly, because I know how it is to feel some sense of loss, especially with those who you're so connected, especially someone like a father. So Father, thank you for taking care of her heart. Thank you for preparing her in some way, shape, or form to continue to move forward in strength, listening and remembering those things of old from family, to parents, from your dad, that will allow you to continue to take on life. Maybe not simply as as a person that has lost, but as someone who has gained great opportunities because of your father. So, Father God, we just thank you for these things. And we thank you for just holding her in the midst of your hands and comforting her in some way, shape, or form. You know her and you know how she operates. But may we as friends continue to surround her, dare to step in and check in on her to make sure that life gets better. I say, of course, because I believe in Jesus Christ. I say this all in the name of Jesus Christ, but if you have that higher power, say it to yours. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen.
Amen. Ashe.
Minnie, you're the best. Guys, I call him Minnie because that's how we
My
grew up
stage
as
name.
entertainers, a stage name. Guys, what a way to end it. You know, we love you guys and we're here for you. And this is a form of love. This is us taking bits and pieces of our lives and giving it to you with the hopes and believing that it'll make yours better. It'll make your situation better. It will make you feel better about where you are and how you can do these things. You can move from strength to strength. You can stop living a settled life. You can achieve great things, that you're not alone. You're not alone. Guys, thank you. Love you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night. Be good. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let me go before I start crying again. God, I know. But yeah, guys. Yeah. I know. All right. Bye. Take care, guys.